What can I do for you?
I'm interested in this.
Rage generation. That's what I'm talking about. I want to get angry. That's how my power increases. I feel like those did something. He'll handle it. Oh, clever. Now this is a clever way to use mechanics.
Considering that.
For the gentle person of any station, there's a game of wits for you here in the garden. A game of wits, my eye. You have to have a secret evil spirit to tell you what to do.
I'm on it.
If there's wits, then it is not doing what it should be doing. Would be neat if there was like a poem or some other visual cue.
Easy enough.
And by using the spirit, we're cheating essentially, or we're getting to it, or like it's an unsolvable riddle.
Of course.
Oh geez, I didn't know how late it was. Okay, some material, a chest. Well done, friend. These statue's hidden mechanisms were crafted at the gracious behest of our king after I suggested an unexpected puzzle hidden in the art of the city could prove some merriment for the public. I hope it amused you. If you're the first to solve the trick, please take this small reward for your cleverness. Sincerely, Yolinda Flores, inventor to King Fulgino II. What's your bet that Yolanda Flores is the name of one of their programmers? Unique? Ooh. I liked it. I liked it. Yolanda, well done. Not to mention we got a unique item. Using a potion applies bees to nearby enemies. Go on, use a potion. You can't spell belt without B. Or B, at least. Anyway, there's B in it. Also bees. This is my first red item. I caught that with the red jennies. Physical damage overtime. I love that idea. That's pretty great. You heal up and then you put set bees on them. It is nice. And that does tell us that they know who the characters in the last game are. I believe it.
Lucanus, you've really never been to Ferelden? But I thought you traveled all over.
The crows don't take many contracts there. Not since the Fifth Blight.
I heard Terran Loghain hired crows in his fight over the throne.
And that's why we don't work there anymore.
What do you mean? Loghain was an upstanding guy. Sure, he was prideful and feared an Ole invasion over the Fifth Blight, but there's a future where he was a warden and that he saved your Inquisitor's life. That he kind of got over himself. Would have been neat if they would have let us import that choice over, so he would have said something a little bit different there. All I'm saying. Did they? I thought they hadn't. Ooh. When did they kill all the Krolls in Ferelden? Oh. Zevran. I will say it's in Denerim, yeah. It's coming back as flashes of memory. I will say this about the Veilguard. It is making me want to go back and play through Origins. I do want to see Origins and remember all of those little factoids and see Turn Loghain again. Even 2. I'll be honest, I wasn't a big fan of Inquisition's gameplay, but hot dang, do I kind of want to jump into it again and actually do it. Oh, could you imagine, like, if they upscaled remastered that thing? That would be amazing.
Not even
I'd
an
play it.
army stops the Treviso market.
I've always loved market days, except for when they're occupied by Antam.
Antam. You are right, Antam. I'm gonna call him the Antam. I bet that they won't, though, because BioWare's gonna fail after this game.
Listen,
It's just not
to
gonna
your
be what it
body.
needs to be.
What does it say it needs? Have you tried kale? Some people have moved to spinach, but I'm sticking with kale.
Gross. Kale and spinach are both gross. Buy it the buy.
Anything here speak to your aura? Having trouble deciding. It's hard to go wrong.
Think of it this way, Saberforce. If it turns out that they remaster it and it turns out to be just as great as we thought, then that's great. But if you expect the company to just plunge into despair and close as per history, then when it happens, you're validated. So you're still getting
Would
a
you like to
positive
see what we
emotion
have?
out of a terrible thing. It's best to just... Oh. Antam. It's the Antam countdown. Probably shouldn't buy all of these mementos. But I just
Thank
did.
you so much.
The caretaker will be happy with me, I'm sure.
The Antam eat, do they not? Surely they don't expect us to skimp on the cream and our
Hey,
white
she said
sauce.
Antam. Antam. Right, we're supposed to go find the guy in the drowned district. Oh, hey, this place is open now. And it's open to nothing. Or maybe it's...
Best place in Treviso.
You can't force these spaces. They just kind of form where people are.
Okay. Consider yourself petted. It's a nice vista.
The butcher wants to see Treviso? Then he shall. My father will throw a ball, and I will wear the best dress.
Take that. Oh, do you hear what he's playing?
Can I get you anything?
You can hear what he's playing, right? Over the music, over the orchestral stuff. Do 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 do. Oh, do they? Well.
Hello?
Hi. Everything is too expensive. They won't let me sell to those merchants, which is too bad. I shouldn't have bought all that mementos. I should have just waited to buy that beer.
Anything for you.
If there's anything for me, you would give me that beer for free. This is a cool, neat little place, though. Pet you. Oh, you're a good cat, Keiko.
Mark my words, Treviso will come back even stronger from this.
We're tracking this quest.
I'm glad the market's still open during occupation. It probably helps to feel that some things are still the same.
I meant to pick up more spices. Another time.
That's a helmet. That is a very... I mean, that's very helmet. There you go. Anyone else need any coin? Very well. It's a big statue. Oh, that's the crow, and then the Antom put something in front of it. Okay, alright. Here, you can have one too. We'll keep going this way. Yeah, we'll keep going this way. Ooh, a way through.
Just here for the necessities. Might be a while before we get to eat.
It's a cool little slums area. The poor living on rotting wood. We'll get over there soon enough. I want to see this other side first. Nope, pet the dog already. Grab this. Nice. Flawless crystal. More civilian areas.
So the crows don't work in Ferelden anymore because of Loghain? Why exactly?
Oh good, they're explaining it.
House Aranai embarrassed themselves so badly on that job. The crows buried 6 different 8th talons.
You're saying they actually die of embarrassment?
Some of them were dead at the time, but they got it eventually.
Oh, I am missing a companion, and my magic dagger can't do its magic dagger thing until we have it. Now that is something I can get behind. Areas that were locked behind companions. I can respect that. No, I want to jump on the box. Rook's just too heavy. It's that hammer. Because Zevran in Dragon Age 2 hunted the rest of the crows. That makes sense. That might explain why I didn't know so much about it, is because I still haven't played Dragon Age 2. There you go. Oh, look at that Kunari bard. Part of the occupying force and just playing some songs. It's great.
If the butcher wants Treviso to thrive, he needs to let sheep sail freely.
Hello, everyone.
So this is Treviso now.
Have some hope. The crows haven't given up.
They won't last much longer if the Antom have their way.
The Antom. Eric, I think I'm finally learning how to say it correctly. Antom. The Antom. Not the Antom, like the Antom. I can work with that. Better be happy about all this gear we're finding for you, Lucanus.
Don't worry, tear him the other six.
You with Lucanus? Yes! Kill them! Kill the Anton!
You're a little excited, aren't you?
They killed Darren!
That would explain why.
That's done. Are you Jacobus?
Darren, my cousin.
Hey, this is something I wanted to learn about. The Antom invasion. When the Antom invaded the south, the people were completely unprepared. Antiva and northern Ravane were overrun quickly, with the invaders pushing down to the Green Dales to the Menatare River, leaving only the southernmost of the free marches spared. From there, the Antam... Dang, I did not do that on purpose. The Antom pushed west, overpowering Tevinter magic with Gat lock guns and brute strength until the defenders finally held at Varantium. Navarra was spared, likely due to the Antom forces' fears of necromancy and unwillingness to attack until Tevinter was conquered, but almost half of northern Thedas fell to Antom rule in just a few years. To those asking why the Antom waited centuries to attack in force if they were this powerful, I would remind them that the Khun teaches that outsiders are to be converted and educated. Under Kunari control, the Antom had been fighting only Tevinter, and even then, they followed rules governing how and when to attack. Gatlock guns were not to be used on civilian targets, for example. When the Antom broke from the Khun, they threw off the old restraints that held them back. Wait, they did... What? Is that new? That's not new, isn't it? It's also important to note that the Antom fought alone. With little in the way of supply lines or experts in food production, the craftspeople and strategic experts who would normally support them had not broken from the Khun when the Antom did. The invaders needed to keep eating. When they encountered resistance that would have forced a siege, the Antom invasion stalled. The Khun? Queen. The Khun. I thought it was the Khun. When did the Antom leave the Khun? Did they leave it at the end of Inquisition? No K. Khun. The Khun. The invaders need to keep eating. When they encountered resistance, they would foresee the Antom invasion stalled. The Kithshoks, who wished only to conquer, now had to learn to rule the lands they would claim. Excerpt from Marlukin, The Loss of Reason by Sir Rowan of Daresmud. The Khun. We'll get there. At the end of the Inquisition, they left, I imagine. So it wasn't... This is new lore, essentially. Because it wasn't done in-game. Oh, this guy's just a kid.
Please, you have to finish Darrett's contract. It's about the butcher. My cousin was going to spy on the butcher. He told me we'd pick up the contract from a dead drop. But then, someone has to finish this for Darrett. Please.
We will take care of it. Go back to the diamond.
I will, just give me a minute.
You got it, Jacobus. But they have so many other things they could have done without bringing in the Kunari if they didn't want to bring in the Kunari. The Khun and their huge invasion fleet is what made the Qunari cool. Dareth, your lead panned out. We've more shadow work for you. The contract is in the usual place across from Taya and Viago. Just follow the marks.
That note said Dareth should pick up the contract at the usual place across from Taya and Viago.
I just read that, Rook.
There will be a trail of marks left by previous crows. It will lead us right to it.
I saw something like that on the wall we passed earlier.
Let's go look.
It makes sense that now they're going to be talking about statements of oh, they've got power, now they're going to abandon the Qun. Oh, they're going to do...
Crow mark. Perfectly thrown.
And where's got to be Dareth's trail. Keep an eye out.
I didn't think these would be the Qun marks, or the crow marks. I've got Qun on the brain now. It just makes it so that they can do whatever with these Qunari, and I'm not a fan. I think it waters down their lore a bit and doesn't ruin what they were.
Another mark this way.
But it puts down what they used to be. Also, for a secret organization of assassins, I'm really glad that they leave these marks out, like, really, really big.
Cafe later?
Here's another crow mark.
There is? I didn't see it. Oh, right there. You say so. Another crow mark.
Our next crow mark.
Makes me feel a little less impressed that we explored this area.
This is where the marks lead. Dareth's contract must be here somewhere.
The Butcher of Treviso has employed a poisoner who manufactures Quamek. The recipient of this contract, Dareth, is charged with finding this Kame's Quamek master in the garrison and ending him. The recipient is also to deal with the traitor who allowed the Antom into the city should this person become known. Should the recipient fall, their next of kin may claim this contract.
The Butcher is making poison. Quamek.
The poison that destroys your mind? That comic?
If I were the Butcher, it'd be a good way to keep people in line.
We cannot let the Butcher unleash this on Treviso.
He won't. The Antam brought in a Quamek master to mix the poison. He's at the garrison. We stop him there before this goes any further. Hang on.
So, the Red Cliff countryside.
It's beautiful. Green, so many trees, wild berries everywhere. Most of them aren't even poisonous.
Do you have wyverns there?
You know, I've never heard of any around, but there are dragons. They usually don't overlap territory.
Pity.
I'm glad how they went directly to, oh no, there's poison, to, you know. Let's talk about if there's wyverns over at Red Cliff. Hello.
Take them out, quick.
Do you think they recorded the line of boss and they were like, oh crap, we probably should have them speaking in Qunari or whatever that language is actually called? And they're like, we better make it Bass instead, and just put that in the subtitle and hope nobody notices. Traitors barter the city, but the Antom do not respect traitors. Okay. Fair enough. Bye. Oh, I felt like through the earth there. We get to hear his speech. I was looking at him before. But okay, cinematic moment achieved.
We're in. Let's find the comic master.
Choose to exist. A little grumpy. I didn't get a good look at him. He's a bit far. I need to get a closer look before I can really get a good look at him. I figured at some point we're probably gonna have to kill him or join him.
This place is forbidden. You cannot forbid the
Of course.
Sure. You can have one of that. They're wooden rocks. I don't know if you know this about how structures are made, but what they do is they form a bunch of wooden rocks and then they slowly cobble it together and put some woods on top of it to flatten it. That's what architects do. Architect actually in ancient Latin comes down to wood putter togetherer. It's a fact. It's true history. Ooh. This place is dark. I cannot see anything in it. And for that to only be a small little thing there doesn't help very much at all. He's shirtless. That much I can give for him. Ooh. Alchemy is more than what it sounds like. I would tend to agree. Deal 50% more damage versus health for 20 seconds. Love it.
I am will made flesh. So much flesh.
What? What is that thing? You want me to hop down there and kill it?
Finally, the fight the butcher denied has come to me. Prove my worth.
I'm here on behalf of the crows. Poisoner.
Poison. You face the gift of the gods.
Ooh. Oh, I activated that by mistake, but I'll go with it. Look at all those bees!
How does he even work with the butcher?
We'll ask questions after he's dead. Keep at it! We can't let this thing out!
Oh my goodness. I was fighting way better against that level 25 demon.
I
think we've just about got it!
How can you tell?
The health bar!
It's done. The comic master's dead.
Good. That's good.
First things first. Let's destroy the rest of the poison. Then we figure out what was going on here. That's the last of the poison, thankfully. Let's look for anything else that explains what's happening.
We'll ask questions after it's dead. I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't gonna say it. I think they were trying to channel a let's study it after we kill it sort of line. And I don't know if that translated well. How much of the dialogue is bad on its own versus how much of it is just trying to be something that doesn't fit its tone versus how much of it is just mediocre and with some of it being bad, especially at first, really just grate on you once it's just normal and beyond. Our biases as humans can be so subjective and easily swayed just because of what we've been going at before. If we have the best burrito in the world and then we get like a not so good burrito afterward, it'll be like, oh, that's not that great. But if you have a bad burrito to start with and then you have a mediocre burrito afterward, your mood's not going to be elevated at all. And it's almost as if it's worse, like, oh, this burrito is just as bad, or like it's better, but I'm not out of this situation. And I wonder how much of that plays into how people are seeing and viewing this game. Does the beginning of this game, is it such a poison that it's ruining everything else? Because this quest was pretty good so far. Anyway.
The butcher rages. Someone has stolen the comic I made for him. I do not know who took it, nor is it my concern. I told him to have the human who betrayed the city investigate the matter. The butcher was not pleased. Locked me in here, said I was changed. Let him find another Kamak master. I have fulfilled my role. The gods grant me another as a reaver of flesh.
Wait. This note says that wasn't all the Kamek. The butcher's angry because some went missing.
What? Who stole it?
No idea. But the note does mention the butcher's inside traitor. The occupation had help. Taya and Viago need to know they were right.
It's Viago. Viago's got to be the traitor. Oh, it's just a teleport. Okay. I can work with that. We'll turn this in.
Are you out of your minds?
Someone had to
Oh,
act.
now it's the governor.
They most certainly did not. I told you crows to stay out of this.
Out of what? Defending our home?
If we had a stronger civil government instead of a bunch of circus criminals, the Antam wouldn't have a foothold in the first place.
I would rather it be Viago. He's pleasant. I don't really think he stands out all that often. There's not much to him other than, I am a crow and I want to help the city type guy. But now they're just going to put this guy in the way and he's just like, no, I want to do things my way. I think we should have a stronger government. That is going to bring it. This is obviously the traitor. Everyone's going to be like, ooh, surprised. Yeah, I think it would be better. It would be a better twist if he was the villain.
You're responsible for the city.
This is Governor Evenchi. They have concerns.
My concern is how you've endangered the city.
We're defending Antiva.
These protections are in place for the good of everyone. You act without oversight.
We crows are the oversight.
And yet, here we are, awash in Antam. And now, you've angered the butcher.
Are they? The Viago and her Tia. I know you were trying to say Tia, but Tia in Spanish is aunt, so that made it all... I read that super, super weird. I don't doubt Viago is a good guy. Once I saw this guy, I was like, oh, this is clearly the traitor. Because this game isn't going to give us anything complicated. You know, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. He just married his aunt, which is weird, but hey, when in Antiva, do as Antiva, I suppose.
It's bigger than whatever it is you're whining about. The gods are corrupting some of the Antam.
And the butcher?
You two are right. He had help taking the city. Human traitors.
I didn't want to believe it. Killing the butcher does nothing if someone could just sell us out again.
I'd start right here. You Talons are known for infighting and betrayal.
You're accusing them. One of their crows died for this contract.
That's enough. Rook, thank you for finishing that contract. The only reward we have is to ask you for more.
I'm here for whatever hurts the gods.
Evenchi is right about one thing. The butcher will not like that we're fighting back.
We need to be ready. Rook, I will have every crow tracking this traitor and the gods, and we will send word when we find something.
The stakes are too high. This should be left to proper officials.
Go back to filing trade receipts, Evenchi. The crows rule Antiva.
And Treviso will be free. With or without you, Governor.
Oh, Jacobus was a prodigy? Okay. What I'm saying is, it sounded like they were setting up a mystery. It's like, ooh, who could be the traitor that helped with the whole Antam thing? I thought there were two guy crows. I remember Viago, and there was someone that didn't like Viago. And then there was Taya. And I was like, okay, well, we come back, the other guy's not here. I don't remember him, so maybe he's the traitor. But since Viago was the only guy I remember, like, oh, if they're setting up who is a traitor, it would have to be Viago. But now that this other guy walked in, he's clearly the traitor. He's just like, I don't want you doing the good thing, you good guys. And they're like, no, but we're the good guys. We are the oversight. We are completely unchecked. We're patriots. We're just good guys, and we're a good organization. It just... The other guy is Ilario, and he's Lucanus' cousin. Well, let's make it Lucanus' cousin then. That would be a twist. I will buy Dragon Age a steak if they make it his cousin. I think that would be a nice twist. But it won't be, because his cousin's going to be involved in Lucanus' quest, where he's fighting the Inquisitor. It turns out he sold him out to the Inquisitor, not to the Antam. Which means that it has to be the politician governor. I will buy Dragon Age the Veilguard, a steak if it was Viago, but it won't be Viago because this game isn't the type of game that will do that. That's what gets me. I wouldn't buy Saberforce a steak. I would buy Saberforce some ramen. That's fair. Saberforce some ramen. If Viego is a traitor, you get some ramen. If Lucanus' cousin is the traitor who did the whole thing to the Antam, I will also buy you a ramen. If it turns out the traitor that betrayed... If the person that betrayed Lucanus was Viego, I will also buy it. Basically, if the outcome is that the person that sold Lucanus out wasn't his cousin, and if the traitor that let the Antam in isn't the governor, then I'll buy you a ramen. I guess there is the possibility of, what if it's someone that we've never met before, and it's like, oh, it was Lord Aldonius. Well, we have to stop Lord Aldonius. Who is he? Oh, he's a pretty big deal in the city. If it's something like that, then I might just buy you a small ramen. Because that still is cheap, but I promised ramen. And it's not doing the most obvious thing. It's just doing a lame thing, which is a little bit different.
Keep you stocked.
That's right, rank up. Well, it's a little bit unfair to be making this towards you, because you've played more of the game than me. You probably know exactly what's going to happen. Ooh. The silent caw. I can have a little crow head.
See you again.
I know I said I was going to quit, but I can't quit without seeing what that would look like. You couldn't get the crow head? I mean, it's in the shop. You can always go back and get it, right? All right. So what does this look like? Does his mouth move when he talks? I can't do that. This is my first playthrough. I'm trying to take this somewhat seriously. I can't possibly play this game and just be like, oh. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go with hard, maybe. I'll think on it. It doesn't look terrible from the back. All right. We'll see how it goes. Let's see if I can stand it. And I now will have the face of a crow.
Farewell for now.